If I had this training like in my first year, it would have saved me a lot of wasted money.
Yeah.
A lot of wasted
Time.
money, a lot of time in figuring
Same.
stuff out, like, because like I said, I've been doing this for about 5 years. So in the business training, there were a lot of things that I already knew and had to figure out the hard way, like email
Hmm.
marketing and social media and like graphics and like all those things, like I had to learn and figure out the hard way.
Hmm.
Um, but if you are looking to do retreats, to like learn this shit. Like
Hmm.
that, your blueprint for retreats like blew my mind with how simple it
Hmm.
was. Um, and it just made like this thing that felt so big and like, oh gosh, like, can I even do this? Be like, oh yeah, I can fucking do that.
Hmm.
Yeah. And so if someone's on the fence and they're feeling the call to deepen their practice or expand their practice into breath work and create like really impactful in-person experiences, go for it.
All right, Yvonne, thank you so much for being here to do this quick interview.
Happy to be here.
Awesome. So, Yvonne, could you please briefly describe your business and what you do?
Yeah, so I am a self-love mentor, empowerment coach, and human design guide. I work with soul mission leaders to help them overcome self-doubt, master their energy, and unlock their medicine.
Hmm.
I've been doing this work for this will be my fifth year. Um, yeah.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Mhm.
Fantastic. So, I'm curious, can you share kind of where you were with your practice and your work before working with Awakened Breath compared to where you are currently after coming up on graduating from the high impact healer training?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I've been doing this work. I started my business in 2020. I graduated my first coaching certification the week after lockdown happened.
Mm.
So I really just kind of got thrown into the fire. And I've been like building the plane while flying it as a solopreneur,
Mhm.
like bootstrapping my way through this entrepreneurial journey. Never been an entrepreneur before, first time entrepreneur. Knew that coaching was my calling.
Mhm.
But business,
Mhm.
not so much, right? And
Yeah.
so I've truly been feeling like just yeah, building the plane while flying it. It's like you're trying
Mhm.
to be the visionary, you're trying to keep the wheels on the bus turning, you're trying to navigate, but you're also trying to build and you're trying to like do everything. Your hands are in all the pots. And I
Mhm.
got to this point where I was just like burning out
Mhm.
because it's just so much to try to figure out on your own. And for me, breath work is something that I've been doing for quite some time. And I knew that it was something that I felt called to step more deeply into as a facilitator. But when I went to be like a human design facilitator at Days in Collective's retreat in Costa Rica,
Mhm.
and I witnessed the sonic neural breath work. I had been thinking about becoming a breathwork facilitator for a couple of years at that point, but when I
Mhm.
saw the sonic neural breathwork in that moment, I just knew immediately. I was like, I know
Mhm.
exactly who I want to learn from. I want to learn this because of witnessing just the potency of the impact and the effects that this had and the powerful healing experiences that these retreat attendees had. And I was just like, I need to learn how to do this.
Mhm.
And I'm so excited because now I know how. I just facilitated one like an hour before this call.
Let's go.
And it's just powerful, potent, beautiful medicine that has
Yeah.
become, it was like, it felt like one of those tools, those missing pieces to really complete the work that I do. A lot of the work that I do is deconditioning work. So helping
Mhm.
people unlearn, clear the channels so that their purpose can flow through more
Mhm.
effortlessly. And with all of my one-on-one clients, even in my group coaching, I would outsource the breath work. I would refer them to somebody else.
Mhm.
But now I have the skills and the ability to be able to facilitate this deep deconditioning work for people, emotional, somatic, energetic, physical deconditioning
Mhm.
through learning this. And on the business side, like I was at a point in my business where like I knew everything that I needed to do to get to move the needle forward in my business, but I was feeling so deeply overwhelmed by all of the steps and all the things that I needed to do. And I knew that, and like also, being in the I'm a wellness industry girly. I like to go with the flow, definitely survive or do well and thrive with more structure, but
Yeah.
struggle with creating that structure for myself.
Yeah.
And coming into this breathwork experience and knowing you, and I was like, okay, I need a little bit of that masculine structure energy. And like the amount of accountability that's in this program to like get your shit done. And I'm a in school, homework was always like, I'll do it all at the end of the year when I have to
Yeah.
turn
Yeah.
it in. But like you and the assistant coaches like messaging me, being like, hey, Yvonne, you got to turn this thing in. Hey, you got these graduation requirements. Like really the level of accountability. I've been in other group coaching programs before, but the amount of touch and accountability in this container was like, mwah. It's something that most group programs are missing.
Mm.
They kind of just throw you in this group of like fucking 30 to 300 people, and there's like very low level of accountability, and people don't get results.
Yeah.
But literally 3 weeks, 4 weeks before, 5 weeks before graduation, I landed my first breathwork client at like the
Let's go.
highest like ticket offering that I've ever like done. So that's like a huge deal for me. And in the last 2 years, I was in this really kind of deconstructing my business phase and learning your blueprint for, I mean, all the things, right? But
Hmm.
namely for me, with where I'm at in my business, learning your blueprint for creating a retreats business and
Hmm.
how clear and concise and simple you made that
Mm.
was like this is so doable.
Yeah.
And I realized that I had been organizing my business structure in the
Hmm.
reverse way of like working with one-on-one clients and then filtering to like group coaching and then maybe doing like retreats or something in the future was part of my plan. But the way that you do it is almost in the inverse. And it
Hmm.
just makes so much more sense. And learning these breathwork skills, it's like literally I did my first in-person breathwork experience and I landed my first client right after that. And it's like the medicine itself is so potent and
Yeah.
like learning how to hold that space in that container, um people feel the potency of that and they want to
Hmm.
experience more of that healing medicine and then learning the the masculine structure business skills was exactly like when I joined this breathwork, I didn't even know that that was a part of the program because I was just like
Hmm.
talking to you about wanting to learn breathwork. And I was like,
Hmm.
wait, there's business training too.
Yeah.
And so this learning for the last month, like these business things, um, namely specifically for me, that was like the game changer was your retreats
Yeah.
business blueprint, was like, oh my God, I can do this.
Yeah.
Like it feels less overwhelming. It feels accessible, doable, and also like again, like the level of support and accountability, like the alumni group, like
Hmm.
just the high touch is
Hmm.
something that I have not experienced in other group programs. The level of touch that's in this program is exactly what's needed for people to actually succeed and get something from a group program. I've been in so many where it's like you leave it and you leave the program and you're like, so I learned a lot, but I don't feel like the needle moved forward in any way,
Right.
But with this program, because there's so much accountability,
Hmm.
um, and like you guys care, which is great. Um, it's definitely like got me feeling so much more supported,
Amazing.
and like, yeah, yeah.
Amazing. So landing your first breathwork client at the highest price point that you've charged right
Hmm.
after your first workshop.
Yeah, like literally like a week and a half.
Let's
She
go.
messaged me and she was just like, I don't know what I just experienced, but it was profoundly healing for me. I like was able to tap into like trauma from her infancy.
Hmm.
Infancy, like
Hmm.
9 months old. And then she was able to, as the sonic neural breathwork does, zoom out and get a bird's eye view and connect the dots between her old trauma and things and circumstances that were happening in her life right now and taking responsibility. And
Hmm.
she's just like, I no longer want to be a victim to this. And she just felt so empowered. She was like, I need to know more. I want to work with you. And I
Hmm.
was like, okay, fucking awesome. Cool.
Amazing.
So we're working in a container with like deconditioning, human design work, integrated polarity,
Hmm.
positive psychology, like change work and breath work. And we're doing breath work like once a month to like really
Awesome.
break through conditioning and like all these things. So it's just such the perfect complement to the work that I do. And I'm like so excited to bring this to more people.
Beautiful. Amazing, Yvonne. I'm curious, just with the results that you've seen so far, I mean, right out of the gate, where do you see yourself in your business with the integration of breath work and everything you've learned in the high impact healer in 6 to 12 months?
Well, it's funny. When I first started this business in 2020, my vision was like, in 5 years, I want to be doing retreats. I want to be
Uh,
working at retreats. I want to run my own retreats. And I already have like three in the works this year, like
hmm
co-facilitating and co-creating retreats and gatherings with some amazing people and facilitators this year. So that's happening
hmm
already. So my
hmm
dreams are literally coming true right on time.
Let's go.
Um, yeah, and I really like am holding this vision for myself to create like really deep impact with this breath work in
hmm
different ways, whether that's doing this at music festivals, doing it for corporate offices, doing it for more people in general,
hmm
and making more money as
Yeah,
like a
let's
solopreneur
go.
who's been bootstrapping this shit for 5 years and like just like trying to like make it work, by myself.
hmm
Now it doesn't feel as impossible. It really feels like something that is possible for me to make
Mm,
an income that can really truly sustain myself and then some. And that way I
yeah.
can be able to pour more into my communities and offer pro bono clients and all of these things.
hmm
So I really foresee myself really taking this and like creating a really stabilized business model for myself that's
hmm
sustainable. So it frees up my bandwidth to actually like have more impact and to be able to um, create more awesome experiences for people. Like I love
Beautiful.
gathering people, so that's a big part of the work that I want to do for myself in the next like year is creating more in-person experiences and gatherings and like collaborating with dope ass people. Like
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Beautiful. So I'm curious, were you surprised and are you surprised by the results that you got from going through this training?
I mean, yes, because I wasn't expecting business training.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit, that's a pleasant surprise. Um, I if you were to ask me like before the program had started, if I would have just like signed on a breathwork client before the program is even over at like my highest price point yet, I would have been surprised.
Yeah, for sure.
But going through the program, I'm not surprised
hmm
because of
hmm
how like thorough uh, the program is and how much
hmm
accountability there is and how much support there is. So yes, I would have been surprised, but now that I've experienced the program,
Yeah.
not surprised.
Yes and no.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Awesome. And then if somebody's on the fence about going through the high impact healer training and they're feeling the call to become a breathwork facilitator, not only that, but to lead retreats and coaching and to help people as their career, what would you tell them?
Fucking do it. Just do it. Like
Yeah.
the amount of value that is packed into this training, the years of experience and trial and error that you've gone through, and also like you're a manifesting generator. So you find the quickest pathway to shit,
Yeah.
and it shows. And so it's like getting that, just like you said in the program, you're like, I created the program that I wish that I had. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, like I can say the same thing as like if I had this training like in my first year, it would have saved me a lot of wasted money.
Yeah.
A lot of wasted
Time.
money, a lot of time in figuring
Same.
stuff out, like because like I said, I've been doing this for about 5 years. So in the business training, there were a lot of things that I already knew and had to figure out the hard way, like email
hmm
marketing and social media and like graphics and like all those things like I had to learn and figure out the hard way.
hmm
Um, but if you are looking to do retreats to like learn this shit. Like
hmm
that, your blueprint for retreats like blew my mind with how simple it
hmm
was. Um, and it just made like this thing that felt so big and like, oh gosh, like, can I even do this? Be like, oh yeah, I can fucking do that.
hmm
Yeah. And so if someone's on the fence and they're feeling the call to deepen their practice or expand their practice into breath work and create like really impactful in-person experiences, go for it, dude.
Yeah.
You won't be wasting your time or your money. And you meet cool people too. And
hmm
you do the breath work during
Yeah.
this program. So you also experience deep healing and transformation and
Mm.
connection and tap into your own insight. And then the whole part of this program also where like you help and support people to what's the word I'm looking for? To tap into and discover and craft their mission,
Yeah.
which is something that's super important, and it's something that I hadn't come back to in a couple years. So just
Mm.
even as somebody who's been doing this work and I have a brand and all these things, having that exercise of coming back to your mission and like
Hmm.
rediscovering that is also so important. So it's like really a very, very thorough training
Hmm.
on the business side
Hmm.
and on the breathwork side.
Hmm.
And you give us such practical action steps to actually like make it happen.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
um, yeah, it's definitely not like other group programs that I've been in. There's like action steps, they're practical, it's concise, it's simplified, like you've like distilled shit down. You know what I'm saying? So
Over many
yeah, I'm just
years.
saying if you're thinking about it, like do it. If you're thinking
Awesome.
about it, you won't be disappointed. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool deal, Yvonne. Well, any other thoughts that you'd like to share with anybody who sees this over the years?
Um, no, just like if you're gonna do it, I'm excited for you. Like
Yeah.
really the healing potential that these breathwork experiences have to help
Hmm.
people is it's powerful and it's
Hmm.
beautiful. Like every time I facilitate these breathwork experiences, I am reminded over and over again of like my experiences and how deeply, profoundly shifting they were for me. And like,
Hmm.
wow, the amount of fulfillment and meaning that I get from being able to hold space for people's like
Mm.
transformations and healing. It's so fucking beautiful. And so I'm so grateful to you, Ben, for creating this and for sharing this medicine with us and spreading that medicine so that we can share that with the people in our lives because people's minds are just blown. They're like, holy shit, I just had an entire like I remember when I did our first sonic neural in
Hmm.
our program and I was like, I came out, I was like, damn, that was just like years of therapy in that one session,
Oh,
like
yeah.
truly.
Hmm.
And the person that I just did it for earlier, she had an incredibly profound experience.
Hmm.
And like it just keeps happening. And I'm just like, yeah, this shit is medicine. And
Hmm.
so if you're gonna do this program, I'm so excited for you. Be
Let's go.
prepared to like share this medicine with the people in your life and to be like excited about it because like I know everybody in this program has just been so excited to continue spreading this stuff. So yeah, thank you, Ben.
Amazing. Thank you so much,
Appreciate you.
Yvonne. Appreciate you, sister.